I happened to visit many of the recently started engineering colleges in and around like that. So I thought that probably here also I would come across a principal who might be a retired professor with one foot in the grave and have no enthusiasm but to just continue and draw a few lakhs of rupees as a salary. That has been my experience, let me be very frank. Even if someone doesn't like, I have to make this clear. And suddenly I come across a young principal. Definitely he is young in the sense that, you see, I became a principal of a degree and postgraduate college when I was a few days in Maharashtra. Bubbling with enthusiasm, was a bad news, and a lot of energy. My interaction last Saturday with him for about an hour convinced me that it is worth going to GMRIT to address the faculty who must be equally enthusiastic, energetic and dynamic. And he has a very clear concept about autonomy. I believe that given a choice, he would like to enforce autonomy. But he doesn't want to do it. He wants to enable you and then make you a part of that entire system. That's a very interesting thing. When I happened to visit the orientation program way back in 1988 in National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, Professor Yashpal was one of our research persons. He said that what could be the most important factor for a college to be autonomous and be successful. Many of us, we participants from all over the country, gave our own different versions. He said that one of the most important and essential qualification is the principal of the college must be dynamic and he must have leadership qualities. I believe your principal possesses them in abundance. In fact, I feel very much angry when I meet you all, especially the principal being so young. Because whenever I visited the colleges in Andhra Pradesh, the recently started colleges, I have been always meeting people who are little older than me. And in fact, you see, I have only had the experience of teaching students who became later on engineers and engineering college professors. But I never have had the opportunity to address engineers in general, except having a few MTech guys as my colleagues in their way. So, intellectually I am a little lower level than what you are. So I must be in a position to be very careful in presenting my views to you so that you will accept them. And I don't know what is shall we go up to the temperature? It's 11:45. In fact, he has given me that, you see, I must be in a position to have a kind of a general awareness about autonomy. And he will accept my suggestion that we should first of all address a smaller group so that, you see, the rationale of autonomy would be first understood by them. They will take it to the next batch so that all the people would be involved in the concept of autonomy. Instead of giving a Maidan lecture for about 175 people, which would only be end up full of sound and fury and signifying nothing. It will be only taken away by our action, and when we leave the hall, we forget everything. So, with your permission, before I start speaking anything about college autonomy, I would like to have a few things from you, your end. That would give me help. That will help me to organize my entire talk. The first and the foremost thing is, most of you must have heard about autonomy, must have seen autonomous colleges, must have read about news in autonomous institutions. And therefore, I would just like to know what you feel about college autonomy in general from whatever information you have. That is the first question. I would like to know from each and every one of you. So that you say, I would like be in a position to know where exactly I should stress and what exactly I can commit. The other is, suppose you are given no choice and the management enforces autonomy on you, then how do you feel? What will you do? These are two things which you have to face. In fact, you see, I am reminded of one quotation of Robert Frost. Wait, can you play that? Yeah. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost's quotation of miles and miles to go before they sleep is very famous. But I thought that, see, in the context of autonomy and engineering colleges, with the mushroom growth of engineering colleges, every college is engineering college everywhere and anywhere. I thought that, see, a time has come when we have to take this quotation to be more relevant. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. If I know your chairman very well, Malikarjun Rao, and his ambitions, and his vision, and his aspirations, I can very well realize that even if there are 1001 engineering colleges, he would like his engineering college to be something different from all of the 999 colleges. I had interacted way back when he was small, or when he didn't bring up his industrial empire in '88, when he was talking about, I wanted to have education institutions which should be different. Now when we take it, now there are two roads at this moment. One road is to follow the path laid down by JNTU. The other is to break off. And I can understand that while there is a great clamor for deemed university status from the Andhra Pradesh engineering colleges, there were, it seems, about 450 applications or something like that for deemed university status from Kerala, Karnataka and Andhra. They directly wanted to have deemed university status so that they will be having a branded certificate giving facility, so that if they have a 50% quota of management, then actually have rob the entire country by awarding degrees. But there is not much of a demand for autonomous colleges except a few. So among these two roads, one is to follow this setup, the present setup, or to break off and going for a different setup of running this institution under autonomy. And this autonomous college, there will be very few people who will opt for autonomy, because autonomy is full of challenges as well as opportunities. We have to change our mindset. Our entire way of living would change there. But we will have a terrific self-satisfaction of having served in this organization or in this profession. So that is a road which is not travelled by me. There is not a road travelled by many. And so, with due respect to Robert Frost, I wish that we should go into that road which is travelled by less people, so that would definitely make a difference among all the engineering colleges in the country. So I wanted you to just remind you of that wonderful quotation of Robert Frost. Now before I proceed, will you be so kind enough that tell me whatever you know or feel about autonomy as briefly as possible, so that you say I will keep them all in my mind, and when I want to take back, get back, revert back, I will try to answer your doubts, difficulties, or add more information. That would be very interesting, because an interactive session would be more lively and participative than, yes sir. P. Srinivasa Rao.
Yes, P.S. Rao. Autonomy in terms of academia, that is framing the syllabus, delivering the syllabus, and also autonomy in terms of evaluation, like conducting a certain examinations which are benchmarking, and thus you are creating a brand wide place. Yes.
In fact, you may say that autonomy, according to you, the way which you understood, is precisely a kind of an academic autonomy, to the extent of administration in conducting the exams and evaluating them, and also awarding them. Like any other week, yes. I'm sorry for putting you, this is not a classroom, just I wanted to share your views with you. Please sit, sir, kindly. Please, sir.
It is not like a choice of the individual colleges. The very beginning, the government also tend to plan. At that time, the UGC was not having this concept. But the government also began this concept of the autonomy, because it is coming from the very beginning, the UGC rule also, 1960. But in our Indian government plan also they are given that due to the increasing load of the university to evaluate the increasing number of the colleges, due to that university is treating alike all the affiliated colleges irrespective of their result, irrespective of their internal infrastructure. So there is this term autonomy, and they have well defined also that we have already written self-governance.
Yeah.
The autonomy means also in Hindi that starts with
Yeah.
self-control.
Control.
It is not like freedom exactly. It is self-control.
Freedom with accountability, to be frank. Yeah.
So here also that autonomy, that how to get what is autonomy, that is okay. And if your previous results infrastructure is like that, then you tell that how to get it. And when the college will be autonomy, they will have to redesign, restructure their courses. And the role of parent university will be there. The academic council of the autonomous college will redesign by the board of studies the courses, and the students evaluated by the autonomous college will be awarded degree by the parent university. Autonomous college doesn't mean that autonomous college will award the degree of UG and PG. Autonomous college can give the diploma certificate by its seal and the name, but the degree will be awarded by the parent university writing the name of the college, that is the autonomous college. That is my knowledge of that.
Okay. Let me clarify what that Singh
There
said.
are two types.
No, just I will clarify. There are few issues which he has raised. In fact, autonomy is not the choice of any person, but all colleges should become autonomous. Let me remind you that your principle was absolutely correct. That anything that is forced can never succeed. Anything that is forced can never succeed, just like prohibition policy in this country. The best example for a total failure was the policies. Not correct, but then it really comes to my mind. Now you see, autonomy is very...
There should have a will to...
That's essential.
States also provision
That's why I agree with the principle that we should not force autonomy. In their enthusiasm, that the quality of higher education is falling down and the growth of higher education is multiplying in a geometric progression. Too many universities, too many degrees, too many people not getting proper employment and all. Something has to be done in a haste. So they were in a great hurry to see that as many colleges as possible should become autonomous. That was the thought in 1966. If you look at the history of autonomy, as I mentioned here, autonomy is nothing short of self-governance. Just as during the independence period, we were asking for dominion status. We should govern ourselves. It was a case of self-governance. Why? What was the reason? The reason was, when the affiliating system this is not new to us. In 1834 we had Gurukuls, institutions who were giving education in their own fashion, in their own methodology, with them titles. And subsequently in 1857, this university and affiliating systems were introduced. But way back in 1916 itself, the principle of presidency in Calcutta probably must have been inspired by the Home Rule and the Congress, the country's feeling for independence, demanded that his college must be given the freedom to conduct its own examinations and award certificates on its own. He campaigned for it, he agitated for it, but he didn't succeed. That was the beginning of autonomy. Then you see, when the college is increased and when we realize the irrelevance of our system. We realize the irrelevance of our system. When a large number of people who go for higher education, majority of the people go either by force or because there is no other alternative, but they were not in a position to be lucratively employed, nor could they really enjoy what education they have taken. So in 1966, Professor D.S. Kochari, the famous professor of physics, a committee was appointed under his chairmanship, and he vigorously campaigned for autonomous colleges in the country. But unfortunately, the vested interests of the universities always feel that if colleges are made autonomous, their importance will be reduced. Their income will be reduced. And they thought that their entire position would be undermined. The affiliate colleges which would become autonomous, they would be almost behaving as if they are themselves universities. So, the state governments also never wanted autonomous colleges, especially a state like Andhra Pradesh, never wanted autonomous colleges for the